Okay, so this is a quick topic introduction for 1C, Forces of Motion, iGCSE Physics, with forces, motion, or movement and shape. So we've got a few tables of information. So we need to know the term scalar, vector quantities, so the difference. One has magnitude or size and direction. Distance D instead of S for displacement. So we've got distance moved and direction in a plus or minus, or just how far you've moved. The resultant force is when you add all forces together on an object, and it usually creates an acceleration. We've got Hooke's law, which is extension of a spring is proportional to the force applied. Contact forces, so where objects touch. Non-contact forces, objects don't touch. So could be forces created from gravitational fields, magnetic fields, electrostatics. Elastic behavior, so when a spring is deformed and then it returns to its original size. Free body diagrams, so labeled diagrams with the forces clearly labeled, kind of like this bit, but a little bit more complex. We've got to do all that stuff there. We should know our different types of force, so friction, electrostatics, tension. So that's when we're pulling something out. Up thrust, so forces pushing on an object, a liquid or a gas. So we don't use that for solids. Magnetic forces between two magnetic poles, gravitational forces between two objects with a mass, or air resistance, or you could also call that drag, caused by air pushing on an object. So my pictures here clearly show different scenarios about stretching, compression, pushing, torsion, and turning. We need to know about Hooke's law experiment, about this proportionality idea. You should be able to describe how that works, that kind of thing. We've also got some formulas. So coming from the previous unit, you still need to use total distance traveled over time taken is average speed. Average velocity would be the final displacement over the time taken. We should know about the force, is the spring constant K times extension X. It's a bit of a stretch for iGCSE, but sometimes they could ask you to work out the gradient of the graph, which might be quite cool. Definitely normal GCSE, but they often just want the simple bit for the basic spec at the moment of this. A resultant force would just be a big force, take a small force. So if we've got two forces acting on an object, we can do one take the other. That gives you size and direction. So there you go. That's forces and motion. 1C, quick summary.